What's Vaush's nickname? What? My debating the right has become useless from 4 days ago. You wanted it, you demanded it, and I will react to it. I will provide a deep analysis. I will provide the deepest of analyses to this video. There you go. Let me brace myself. The equestrian thing I said above. Okay, I'm gonna brace myself. You better brace yourselves because we're doing an analysis, a critique, if you will. Because that's all the rage now. Debating and critiquing other people's work. And I'm best at that because Polish people are good at whining and complaining, and that's basically what analysis of other people's work usually is. Okay, let's watch it. Let's critique. Let us critique. Already the intro not very good, not nice.
I mean, my main issue with talking rhetoric is that I don't think most Republicans can be moved over at this point.
Most Republicans, do you mean viewers or Republican speakers? Do you mean people that you debate? Didn't you always say that it doesn't matter if you move over the person that you debate? Didn't you ever say, didn't you always say that what matters is that the audience moves over? Also, the colors seem very over the top. Like the color is just flowing out of the lettering of the chat, which it makes me feel weird. How do you feel about it? It makes me feel strange. It's 1:37.
I was more hopeful about that back in 2019, but genuinely at this point, in order to be enough of a Republican that you'll stand to defend your positions, you have to be really in the cult mindset.
Wait, hold on. But the thing was never about changing the mind of the person you debate. The thing was about changing audience's mind. That was the thing that was sold to me all these years. That debating is not exactly about the person you are talking to. That the person you're talking to will stubbornly just, do whatever, do their thing. Like, did Vaush debate Sargon of Akkad thinking secretly, oh yeah, I'm gonna change this guy's mind? No, wasn't it always like, oh, I'm gonna make this guy look stupid, and then his audience is gonna, I don't know, at least some of the audience is gonna switch or something? So, what is it?
It doesn't make it impossible, and rhetoric is still important in life in general. You know, it's like it's a broadly useful skill, but the framework for teaching rhetoric, like, is usually been how do I convince someone that I'm arguing with, or how do I like defend this position or whatever. But it's like,
wait, hold on, but that's not what you've been telling us all these years, and all people that are debating. That's not it. That's not it at all. What I've already explained this. That you are debating someone, you don't care if you you don't care about convincing that someone, but there's a whole audience watching of that person that might look and say, hey, this person looks weak or whatever, and they like, hey, this guy that won the debate, pretty cool, maybe his arguments are pretty good after all, maybe I'll change my mind a bit. Because, otherwise, what would be the point of debating in public in front of an audience? You might as well, if you try to persuade a person to sort of change their positions, then wouldn't you just debate them in private? Because if they don't have a huge audience watching them, they don't have the pressure to sort of dig into their positions, right? Isn't that also a factor? That if you have like 1,000 people watching you for your opinions, then sort of just backing down on your opinion makes you look kind of silly. So you're sort of, even if you know that not everything you believe is correct or true, you'll sort of still stand by it because of that 1,000 people that watch you? I'm entering a conservative's mind now. But now suddenly it is about convincing the person you're debating, and hence it's useless now?
Like, dude, I don't think I've seen a productive conversation with a Republican in any context between anyone and anyone else in years. When was the last time you guys saw that? I remember back in 2017, 2018, 2019, even 2020. Pretty often you would see what looked like good faith Republicans sitting down and going, okay, well, I do have some concerns about the border, and I do think we should bring jobs back to America. And they would like have an argument. It's like, okay, they're wrong and they've been fed bad info, but they're not crazy. They just have bad info. I haven't seen anything like that in years. And that's not an exaggeration. I genuinely can't remember the last time I saw that. I know it happens.
So what changed?
I know it's not literally
Literally.
impossible, but man, things have changed. Like,
things have not changed, Vaush. Oh my god. Things have not changed. Come on. Ridiculous. What changed is your whole framework, as it seems. Like I've been repeating over and over and over again, like a broken machine. Your framework around debating has changed, as it seems. Now it's suddenly about convincing the person you're speaking to, even though before it was totally never about it. Before it was convincing the audiences, but I guess whatever. I should start debating. I should jump into the debate. I'm gonna make a poll about it.
badly. Maybe godforsaken, but I mean, rhetoric is very, very important. Very, very important.
Rhetoric is useless, let's be honest. Look at me. I don't use rhetoric and I'm just fine. I use zero rhetoric and I'm just fine. Have I ever used rhetoric? Rhetoric is for cowards. Rhetoric is for, like, chumps. If you use rhetoric, then you don't know what you're doing with your life. You're using rhetoric as a crutch. Okay? Rhetoric is a crutch for the weak. Real people use that other thing. That is not rhetoric. That is what real strong people use. Weak people use rhetoric. That is my judgment of the situation.
Important. Being able to argue well, it's not just something that you do in political debates. It helps you in interpersonal arguments. Not because you're trying to epically own the opponent, but because understanding what everyone's saying and how to engage with it is just generally useful.
Like that's not true. Imagine understanding what other people say and engaging in it. Sounds like a coward's way of engaging with life.
Like, it doesn't even need to be an antagonistic skill. It's just a communication skill. It has applications all across the spectrum of human communication.
I knew he'd say that.
So it's still important. It's just difficult. Unironically, make more videos about rhetoric, though. Okay, to be clear,
I am the best rhetorician in the world, and my skills it'll cost you $10 billion to learn what I know, while I've honed through the years of training in the mountains.
All of my videos are about rhetoric to the extent that they all contain rhetoric, right? Like, when I make an argument, I don't need to say, this is how you make the argument. If I'm making the argument, that's an example of the argument.
That's not how that works, Vaush. What? Like, it's like, oh, that makes perfect sense. That you're employing great rhetoric right now, Vaush. It's basically like saying, you know what? Why would you go to a course about how to make public speeches? Just, watching public speeches is enough of a lesson. Sometimes you need things to be broken down. What elements work well, what elements don't work well, It's like saying, hey, why read about what makes good writing when you could just read good writing and it'll be enough? It doesn't always work like that. I mean, it can, but it does not always work like that. You know what I mean? I'm employing rhetoric on you, so you better believe me.
That one might point to, or
You
at
better
least that I
trust
would
me.
point to, as an example of what I think good rhetoric is,
No.
If only debate wasn't dead. I haven't gone over it yet because it's meant to be one of the things that I go
Uh-oh.
over that I keep not going over, because
Uh-oh.
yesterday I was pooped because I had just gotten back from the hike in Mount Rainier, and today I'm exhausted because I have a headache and so on and so forth.
That's called being lazy, Vaush. Oh no, yesterday I took a hike. Oh no, today I have a headache. Tomorrow I'm washing my hair. Lazy behavior. I don't ever do lazy behavior. I don't ever.
Let me show you why I just don't care about debating and frankly just don't have any interest in doing it. Okay? Look at this. This is one of
Nice. Greater Ain't wins hearts about Ukraine. Boom. Perfect, Greater Ain't. Well done. Well done, Greater Ain't. You've employed rhetoric. Like Vaush.
the things I'll do a segment on when I finally get around to it, okay?
Oh my gosh. How lazy.
Republican governor and Republican Secretary of State in the state of Georgia.
What's your name? You said Parker?
My name's Parker. We have a Republican governor and Republican Secretary of State in Georgia that approved our elections. And Donald Trump.
What is this part of this video? Why debating the right has become useless? Why are we watching this?
Said that wasn't constitutional.
Relax.
Donald Trump tried to undermine our Constitution.
You're at 10. I just walked in. I'm here to just learn.
Hey, you're an anti-patriotic, anti-constitutional person crashing our party
So let me
because
ask you
you
one
tried
question.
to stop our democracy.
I got one question.
Donald Trump called the
Can I ask you
Secretary
one
of State of
question?
Georgia and told him to find him some votes.
What is a woman?
Oh my.
Oh my god, trans rights.
God, that is so weird, y'all. Maybe you should meet one.
I'm married to a woman.
Same.
And that's why I just don't care anymore. Charlie Kirk
What is a woman? What is a woman?
is one of the faces of the Republican movement. I debated him for 2 hours and I won. I dog walked him. He spent 20 minutes being aggro, and when he realized it wouldn't work, the rest of it was me giving an educational lesson to him and Tim Pool's audience. Now he hears 30 seconds of completely correct talking points, and then he blusters back to a thought-terminating cliche that he has no interest in engaging with or answering. If I debated Charlie Kirk now, rather than
Hey, what is a woman?
2 hours of me dog walking him, it would be 5 minutes of whatever the subject was meant to be, and then he would say, "Oh well, what am I? Oh yeah, well how about this? What's a woman?" And then I would have to go, "Do you actually want to get into that, or was that just your attempt at escaping the topic?" And then he'd say, "Oh well, what is a woman?" And then that would be the rest of it. There would be there is no discussion anymore.
You know what is a woman? You know what a woman is? A woman is someone that doesn't try to undermine the Constitution. A woman is someone that does not try to coup the government. That is what a woman is. Okay? There you go. A woman is someone that does not try to found additional votes when it's convenient to win the election that was lost. That is what a woman is. I would have answered in that particular circumstance. And would have been a banger of a response. That would have been my answer to this problem of what is a woman.
Nothing exists, nothing matters. What is a chair? Can you imagine debating someone
A
and then
chair is something that is not a bed. And what is a bed? A bed is something that is not a chair. Got them.
you ask them any question, they're like, what is a chair? What is a chair? Go ask Socrates, dipshit. Like, there's no point that no one wants to have a conversation.
A chair is the thing that I like sitting on.
If Tim invited you back, would you go at this point? No. I've turned down plenty of debate. No, I'm genuinely, my interest in, I don't want to do things I'm not interested in. If the sauce isn't there, what would it be? There's no longer an interest. No matter how good you are at debate.
Oh no, Vaush has no interest in debate anymore, which means that he won't anymore.
You always need both sides to be invested in doing it.
Oh wow, it takes two to tango, basically, is what he's saying here. The famous saying, it takes two to tango.
Like, if I showed up for a debate and they just made like farting noises with their mouth, I can't make a good point in that environment. It's
yeah, you can. You can tell that the conversation stinks. There you go. If someone makes farting noises with their mouth during the debate, you just say that the conversation stinks.
Requires two people engaging with some standard of mutual competency. It's just unfun. Like, it's not even a matter of performing well. It's just unfun. All of the rhetorical skills that I'm interested in, meaningless. You just scream your soundbite.
True, my talents are wasted on these rubble. That my talents are wasted on the pleb.
That's it.
That's it.
Remember the debate between Moist Critical and Sneeko, where Moist Critical was objectively correct and reasonable the entire time, and Sneeko was like interspersing bad arguments with being pro pedophilia. And
I'm sorry, why would you debate Sneeko? Well, of course you're gonna get not a great debate from Sneeko. Come on, is Sneeko gonna be the bar now? Is Sneeko gonna be like our standard of what constitutes a debate? Well, of course, if you're gonna go by Sneeko as your standard, you're gonna be like, all of it is crap. Goddess rhetorician. True. Have you seen my debates? Have you seen my debates? Ouch. My boobie. Have you seen my debates? I've not lost even a single debate. Not even a single one. I've won more debates than Xander Hall. I've had more good debate performances than Xander Hall. Think about that. Think about it. Think about it deep. Xander Hall had big blunders in a debate. I never had a big blunder in a debate. I only had banger debates and victories. Because I'm so good. I'm a genius debater. Any of you can call in at any time and debate me on anything. Do it now. Prove me wrong.
After that, every right-wing account on Twitter was like, yo, Sneeko just owned Moist Critical on trans kids or whatever.
Well, yeah, but that's what always fans of an idiot will say. That's not an argument. That's what is, like, Vaush, oh, things have changed so much now. It's totally not like it has always been that when a guy loses a debate, a lot of his fan base will say that he won anyway. I am not pretty and likable. Would you like to call in and debate me on that? Would you like to actually call in and debate me on it? I'll debate you. I'll debate you. I don't want to get slaughtered though. It's okay. I don't slaughter my enemies. Alright, let's unpause. We're on the 6th minute out of 17 minutes.
No one cares. Nothing matters. This is what I mean about no unity. How do you form unity with that? It's only
Unity?
power. They don't care about anything else. They'll do
But you've always said that, Vaush. God. You've always said that it was about power. You never said it was about... Oh, whatever. This is what we call rationalization. He just doesn't want to debate anymore, and he's creating more and more fabricated reasons why he doesn't. That's my rhetoric around about the issue. I'm gonna debate Vaush about why he should debate. How about that?
say anything. They don't believe in anything. Anti-empiricism is a core tenet of fascism.
Damn. It's almost as if that had always been the case. So what, was Vaush delusional before?
Once you free yourself from the burden of having to actually believe in something and hold to that position, you can do or say anything. And I just have no interest in engaging with it. The hippy dippy revival was such a great example of why debate is stupid. Actual Justice Warrior was just straight up engaging in pedantic trolling with a stupid grin on his face the entire time, to the point where
Actual Justice Warrior, what a name. What a name. Well, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but the actual Justice Warrior has always been like this. Shocker of all shocks. What a shocker. Actual Justice Warrior. Discovering him for the first time.
even Destiny was about to leave a few times. The right doesn't believe in truth anymore. There's no point. None of them. There is not a single right-leaning figure out there who would engage in a debate and be embarrassed if they performed poorly. In order for a person to be embarrassed that they perform poorly, there had to be any expectation whatsoever.
Lucy, I think we sort of did debate it earlier, actually, and your argument was based on a fallacy, so I went, what? I never engaged in fallacy.
That they were going to participate in a meaningful way. That means not only are the participants, the pundits themselves, disinterested, their audiences are too. Nobody cares.
Oh, now you're going into the audience argument. I bet there's some audiences that are interested, that can be moved over or whatever. No? Didn't you move over Hunter Avalon or something?
It's all trolling at every level. I mean, when I went on Hippy Dippy...
I mean, if someone's trolling, you can just mock it. Just mock it. Mock it ruthlessly. Mock it in a really, really sarcastic, cold, Polish way. And they'll be crying by the end of it. Just be Polish about it. Vaush, you're Polish, sort of. Half Polish. Just engage with it in a Polish way. Be cold, sarcastic, and look down on them. That's it. That's the ticket. Go the Polish route. Treat them like they were, I don't know, children. And I assure you, they will get mad. That is what happens. Lucy, I think we sort of... He said, but most people believe X, so it must be true. Exactly. Now, I didn't say most people believe X, so it must be true. I said most people believe X. Can X people be wrong? So I did not say in absolute terms that they must be, what they believe must be true. I simply said that maybe they're not wrong. See? This is rhetoric. This is my brilliant rhetoric in action. I'm sure people in Hunter's audience moved over to seeing someone they'd watch be willing to change their opinions and beliefs. See? There you go. Already Vaush has forgotten his roots. His roots.
Like, I don't know, 8 months ago or whatever, the only time the conversation boomed was when Alex Stein came over to sexually harass people in the call, and then people said he was awful, and then he just smiled and nothing mattered.
What? Did that happen? What? Hold on. I haven't watched that, but has anybody watched that 8 months ago or whatever? And Did that happen? Huh? What? Huh? Huh.
Nothing matters. None of it matters. Nothing matters. There's no argument for or against. There's no point. You could deliver the best possible point. What, your audience agrees with you? Their audience doesn't. There's no way of moving over anyone because they don't come to that thinking. It's
How do you know? How do you know that, Vaush? Come on. Just lazy thinking. How do you know nobody of the audience comes to that thinking? You cannot know that. Have you polled these audiences? Aren't you a sociology major? Shouldn't you poll these audiences to see how many of them have moved over or something? It's lazy, Vaush. That is so lazy. True.
It's not like the old Sargon days where there are fans of Sargon of Akkad who think that he like has a correct point that other people aren't willing to discuss. That's not. It's a different era.
No, it's not. It absolutely isn't.
I think, I talk conservatives down quite a bit here. I think, if anything, I don't talk them down enough. I think that people in my community and broadly
What is this?
still overestimate how much they believe in truth. I think debates against less mainstream figures are pointless, but don't you think more mainstream people with a broad appeal to non-voters have more of a point? I don't know. I don't know what that sentence means. Destiny straight up said when reviewing the conversation I lost by even engaging, hasn't that been like half the debates Destiny has done? Pardon, I'm sure he does a lot of debates and I don't catch them, but I remember he said the same thing after debating Nick Fuentes on Fresh and Fit, where like, as it turns out, you can't actually have a debate when the opposition is just saying shit about Jews and the hosts of the debate are also just saying shit about Jews, and you're just sitting there like, and you can say anything, true, false, good, bad, it doesn't matter. There's no relationship between what you say and the
That's
quality.
because you have to engage with it in a Polish way. You're not Polish enough, Vaush. I have to bring in the Polish energy. Okay, now it's time for a real poll. Because I can see people don't care about the old one anymore. Plus, it's a weird draw. You might actually regret once I start bringing in the Polish energy. You might regret that you've said that. Well, once I bring it, I'll bring it. But you might regret wanting it.
Of your speech and what actually happens as a consequence. It's all just edgy blood sports. It's worse than blood sports because in the blood sports era of debate, at least during that
Blood sports. Blood sports is for the weak. The Polish way is to be like, I don't even know how to describe it. How do I describe the Polish road of sarcastically, smugly looking down on people, which makes them furious? I don't even know. No, that's not the Polish energy. The Polish energy is being smug, sarcastic, in a very cold and detached way. Usually without smiling. Yeah. I don't know. Well, I will do my best to pull it off in English. No, it's something else. It is something else. It is something else.
Era, if you got a good zinger, that actually meant something. There was actual winning back in the blood sports days. If you
back in the blood sports days, Vaush is pretending like 15 years has passed since he last debated.
And you got your ass trashed back in the blood sports
I would have
days.
to have a debate opponent to try to pull it off. I would need a debate opponent, okay, to even remotely try to pull it off. I could if I had an opponent. Bring me an opponent. I will try to demonstrate it. Bring me an opponent now. President Sunday, debate me. Mock debate me. You're beautiful. Now debate go. I don't know if you believe. Oh, it's difficult when someone writes at me. I can try. I mean, no. That's my. There you go. I answered. You're beautiful. Now debate go. My answer is no. What now?
Of debate, you could lose
I win.
reputation for that. Now it doesn't matter. It's all clown shit. There's no me. It's a complete nihilism. It might as
What
well
a cop out.
be like solipsistic. You scream into the void. Why would I participate in this? It's degrading to the human spirit. I mean, debates are good entertainment. Yeah, and people like Aiden Ross are especially entertaining to certain demographics of individuals. I will be entertaining doing
See, that was a bit of Polish energy. Vaush has some of that Polish gene.
things I enjoy doing. That's it. If you think I'm only entertaining when I'm doing a debate, why are you still watching? Right, you've been in a content drought.
Heh. I don't know. Maybe people are just desperately waiting for Vaush to debate. Who knows? Hey, listen. How many people does Vaush have watching on average? 8,000 people or something. What if Vaush started debating again and he had 20,000 people watching? He would have been taught such a lesson in humility. You would have been taught such a lesson, Vaush.
Out for a while, but also, frankly, I think you have bad taste. I was there for my debates. I know what I'm like. I know what they're like, and I know what I'm like when I'm not debating. I think that I'm pretty entertaining across the board. If you're only
I don't know. I've not been watching Vaush for a long time, and I have been watching his past debates, so that would indicate that, in my opinion, he might not be as entertaining across the board as he thinks. I'm sorry to say. Hey, listen, they say honesty is the best policy. I've learned today, so whoops. Whoa. Whoops. Oh boy.
there for the debate
It would be so funny if Vaush said that and half his audience just left. And he'd be left with only half of the audience watching. As a prank.
portion, I agree they were good, but
I
life
think my debate style is esoteric, grandiose, and sarcastic. I get lost in the weeds of hyperbolic nonsense as a weak attempt to not offend people or make conversation too heavy. Yeah? Well, I just do the Polish thing, and I win each time.
changes, man. You know, like that you have to accept.
Do I
that.
know? I don't know.
I thought they were good. Yeah, man. I thought it was great back before I had a lower back injury. That was great. That was a great time of my life. But it's been a long time.
What
I
does
don't-
that mean? That was bad rhetoric, Vaush. That was just I have no clue what that meant. Oh no, my poor back injury.
I don't think there's anything
I'm a veteran, basically.
wrong with enjoying watching debates. At the end of the day, I can only really get invested in stuff that I enjoy doing. And the debate space right now is nihilistic to a point that the thought of engaging with it is genuinely depressing.
I don't know. It depends. Maybe you should debate people on specific topics that are not as culture war-y, you know? Because things like trans rights will get really nonsensical and nihilistic real quick. But once you start debating people on specific topics that you cannot just be nihilistic about, then a debate does become a debate. I don't know, debate people on Israel, Palestine, or Ukraine. And people suddenly cannot just get away with BS. They have to put forward some sort of argument if they're gonna, I don't know, argue that Russia should win or whatever, or that Ukraine should not be funded or supported. Like, you cannot get away with BS when you make such an argument. You have to actually debate your point with topics like that. There you go. I have fixed your little slump, Vaush. Just choose the right topic for debating. Choose a topic that will not allow people, if they actually choose to debate it, that will not allow them to get away with BS. Here you go. I've solved it. I've solved the Vaush dilemma. You're welcome. You're so welcome, in fact, that I have nothing else. You're just welcome.
You know, I hope you all understand where
I don't understand. No, I do not understand where you're coming from. I'm afraid. I'm afraid I may be lacking the mental, emotional, and rhetorical capacity to understand.
I've never been humbled in a debate. Certainly, I've had ones where my opponent
You've been pretty humbled in the first Sargon of Akkad debate.
was
I remember that one didn't go that well. You needed a rematch to look good. So I don't know if you've never been humbled in a debate. I mean, that's questionable. That's questionable, Vaush.
had a good point or was a proficient speaker or anything. I've never had a moment where, like, afterwards I was like, I'm afraid of debating or anything. It's just,
Why would you have a moment like that? That's very strange to say. I'm afraid of debating now because I did bad in a that who would what?
look at the last like 8 or 9 attempts at a debate. It's just miserable. I don't enjoy it. I don't think you guys enjoy it. I think you just have strong memories of like some key moments in the channel. But we make new key moments every day.
That is just silly. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to say that this rhetoric is not very... You're not employing a really strong rhetoric right now. I'm not convinced. You're not moving me over. Which actually may be proving your point. Maybe I'm just being too nihilistic about all this. And nonsensical. One time I was debating someone on why I think abortion should be allowed, and it got intense. They mentioned that their ex had won and they felt like they lost a child, and I just dropped the debate at that point because what do you even say when they are so emotionally deep in an issue? You say... Okay. Vaush runs from Tyler in a fashion debate. Really? Was Vaush humbled in a fashion debate?
I don't want to turn into one of those sad sacks where all you do is reminisce about the good old days, you know, the memories of good. I'm still alive.
Alive! Are you, Vaush? I mean, that little remark also... That little remark also made no sense because that is basically what you did. You say that you don't want to be the person that reminisces about the good old... Hold on. Now I will employ my rhetoric. Hold on. Let's listen to it again. Let's listen again.
The channel is, you know, the sacks where all you do is reminisce about the good old days, you know.
But that is what you did. You opened with it. You opened the video with it. You said, oh, in the good old days of the debate, people would actually make points and zingers meant something. You had a winning condition in the good old days, but now everything sucks, and that's why you don't debate anymore. You actually are one of those sad sacks that reminisce about the good old days when debate meant anything. And now you just don't do it because now everything sucks and everything has changed. There you go. What do you have to say about that? You do need to employ the Polish energy.
The memories of good. I'm still alive.
Alive!
The channel's actually booming right now. Like,
is it? Is it booming? I don't know.
More than it ever has. I think it would be misguided of me to think of like, oh man, 3 years ago I had a big debate with, you know, such and such. Like, okay, yeah, that was good. I'm good now. I also think that I'm pretty good at news coverage too. You know, I think
What? Is Vaush good at news coverage? Would I watch Vaush for news coverage? Would I watch Gosh for news coverage? No, I think there are better people for news coverage. No offense, Vaush. No offense. I think there are better people that I would watch. I would watch myself. No, I would not watch myself. I'm not pointing at myself.
I think that I've fallen into a good rhythm with it. I like it. I didn't used to like covering news. I felt like I was just doing the job of an MSNBC host. Now I feel like I do a good job tying it in. So I think, you know, yeah, I think I've gotten better at it. I like it. It's a skill that I value. I want to get better at it. Would it ever be possible for someone like James from Modern Day Debate to present you a debate you'd be interested in? No. No, my disinterest in a debate is unconditional at this point.
Jesus.
And trust me, I've turned down debates that you guys might have thought that you'd be interested in seeing, but I know what the debate space is like. You know, go take a look at Charlie versus Moist Critical. Go take a look at any of the debates that Destiny has done recently. I haven't seen them, but the debate.
Oh, that is such a weird thing to say. Hey, go look at any debate that Destiny has done recently. I haven't seen them, but I know how they went, even though I haven't seen them.
Debate space is the same for him as it is for me. It's the same space. Go look at him. Destiny's got problems, but he do be yapping. He knows how to talk. What are his conversations like? Do they look like they're full of mutual engagement? Do you come away from those conversations thinking, wow, that was a good use of his intelligence, his time? My guess is no.
Hey, listen, what about my debates? I debated Loner Box. Was it a bad use of his intelligence, of his time? No, it was the perfect use of his intelligence. It was the perfect use of his time. So I just defeated that whole argument. There you go.
Maybe in some of them, but my guess is probably not.
I'll debate Destiny.
Probably not. Have you been invited on Piers Morgan debates? Yeah, like 4 times. Have you seen a Piers Morgan debate? Everyone shouting over each other for like 30 seconds of uninterrupted speaking. Then Piers Morgan like rolls a dice on what position he's going to hold that day to maximize the views that he gets for that particular discussion. And if you're like held in poor favor in the dog pile, then like everyone just talks over you. And then Piers Morgan like asks 3 people in a row, like everyone take 1 minute to disagree with the 2 seconds of position expressed by the person. Dude, Vaush, you turned down airtime on live TV. The Piers Morgan, the YouTube site, is that on live TV? I think that's the online bit. I know he does stuff on TV, but that's a YouTube show. But also, yeah, I would turn down time on live TV. What point? You people are incredibly shiftless. When I say
I'm sorry. What? Vaush! And you say that you have good rhetoric? Just moments ago, you said that your dislike for debate is unconditional, meaning you cannot be moved on it. And now you're telling your audience you're so immovable? Vaush! Let's listen to it again.
On live TV. What point? You people are incredibly shiftless.
Shiftless, says Vaush. That just says, I'm not gonna do it no matter what. I'm not gonna shift my position. Calls other people shiftless. Okay, Vaush. Okay. Alright. I get it.
When I say I don't want to do debates, why you're like, wow, not even for money? Are you
That's not good. That's not what being shiftless means.
What are you're weak? Did I stutter?
That's not what being shiftless means.
It's not even principled. I just don't think it's fun. That's it. Do you not sympathize with that? You all
Hold on. If it's just not fun, then it's not unconditional. Because the condition is, if it's fun, I would do it. You think before you speak. Think before you speak. If there's a condition that can be met that would make you debate, then it's not unconditional. The conditional is it should be fun. It needs to be fun. Here you go. Vaush. I'm poking holes. I'm poking holes in your argumentation. Your argument is like Swiss cheese.
Have like myopic ambition brain where you're trying to think like, well, I would have simply grind setted. What do you think I do this for? What do you do, a live TV appearance, not a debate? Well, sure. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get that offer, but...
What happened to his voice all of a sudden?
Sure. If a person wants to come on because they have a disagreement with me, I don't necessarily have an issue with that.
Okay, I want to come on. I have a disagreement.
In my mind, there's a distinction between a person coming on because they have a disagreement and a debate. A debate carries with it expectations. You are there in a performative sense to disagree, right? But like right wingers never email me saying, hey, I have some disagreements, I want to come on. They say, hey, do you want to come on my show and have a debate? Massive difference between these two in terms of...
Oh, I'm gonna send that email. Hey, Vaush, do you want to come on my massive show and have a debate with me? Vaush? Do you want to come on my show and have a debate? Wait, my points? Oh, greater range points. Never mind. Nobody cares about my points. Everybody just cares about greater range points. Maybe greater range should take over this show. Vaush is just gonna call you a cloud shark and run.
Expectations, what's going to happen during it, who's benefiting.
Thank you, Glitchmaster.
Who's grifting, blah, 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 blah. If a person has disagreement, I mean, I argue with Chad all the time, right? Like if a person has disagreements, I'm totally willing to talk, even if it ends...
You don't disagree with chat, you shout at chat. There is a difference. There's a difference between disagreeing with chat and shouting at chat. Just putting it out there. There's a difference there. There's a rhetorical difference.
Ends up turning into a debate because it wasn't... The performative expectation wasn't set from the beginning. The kayfabe wasn't there, right? You enter it just like, okay, we have a disagreement. That's fine. I think there's a meaningful difference there.
All right. I'm going to debate Vaush. I'm going to have a disagreement. I'm already having tons of disagreement now.
I would love to have a discussion about AI. No, AI is the devil.
There you go.
See, that was a debate. How famous does someone have to be to discuss something with you / debate? I used to say there's no threshold, but the God's honest truth is that unfortunately, you guys kind of ruined it for yourselves. It's the same reason we don't have call-in streams anymore. Because if you do call-in streams, like as is the case with people who just want to talk, it's trolls or very parasocial people. Like really parasocial people.
I'm both. I'm a parasocial troll, the worst of those worlds.
I remember with the call-in streams, you would have the call-in debates, especially because people would like fake to disagreeing with me because they wanted to talk, and then they'd start giggling, and it just trained me.
Yeah, I'd probably start giggling very fast, very soon. But it doesn't mean that I would not have disagreements. I can giggle and have disagreements. Those two things are not mutually exclusive. People that argue with me know that I often giggle a bit when I argue. People know. You know if you argued with me.
To hear for when people are talking with a smile on their lips, which I got really good at because I could tell that they were being like, you know, like they were just... and a lot of them weren't even trolling in the sense that they were trying to waste my time. They were just parasocial dipshits.
Oh, I will No, I will not.
Shits who wanted to talk to me but knew they couldn't by agreeing with me. So unfortunately, now you have to be some kind of famous to talk to me because
I'm famous. I'm famous, sort of. No? Am I not sort of famous?
otherwise I'll just assume you're parasocial. I'm sorry, I have a stream to manage here. It's not anything personal.
What a weird way to end the video. What a bizarre ending to a very bizarre video. Am I famous enough to talk to Vaush? Listen, look, I'm famous. I have 12 people watching. 12 people is more than 0. 12 people is more than 1. 12 people is more than 2, more than 5, more than 6, more than... You get the drift. You get it. You understand.